Activity 1.1 is called the brain, and this really sets the stage for all of what this computer science for innovators and makers class is about. First thing you'll notice is the essential question, and you'll want to write these down in your notes. How can algorithmic thinking skills be used across multiple disciplines? And the main thing with that is how can you take a step-by-step approach to solving tasks in other classes or other areas of your life? Remember, the digital dive we don't have and we're not going to do, so anytime you see digital dive, just skip right over that section. Writing utensils, there's always some in the back of the room if you need. The microcontroller, which is the microbit, that's in the back of the room as well. First part you'll notice it says, what's a computer scientist? Whenever it says PLTW Gateway Notebook, you want to take some time to write your answers, your reflections in your notes. Video. Please make sure that you do take the time to watch the video, pause the video, take notes over the video. If you need to rewind it or rewatch it, you have access to it the whole time. So please take the time to watch the video. It's basically a substitute of me teaching for that day or that particular lesson or topic. So take the time to watch that. Physical computing. When there's vocabulary terms, you click on it, there's the definition. Now some students will make several pages full of just the vocabulary terms, and several students have also in the past done where they write down activity 1.1, the brain, and all the definitions, the terms just for that activity. That's up to you. Do make sure that you have your notes very organized. The digital dive, let's skip right over that. We're not going to do that activity. There is a term here, program. You want to write that down. Other than that, you can just keep going. Wireless connections. This is where you're going to complete the digital dive again with your class. We actually don't do the digital dive, so you can just skip right over that as well. Another vocabulary term, click on it, write that down in your notes. Compare the hardware. Take some time here to really understand what the different parts and components of the microbit are. It's not a very big piece of technology, it's not a very expensive piece of technology, but it can do a lot of amazing things, some really cool things with just a little bit of code and a little bit of coding knowledge. When you go through here, you're going to want to understand push buttons A and B. Those are to activate sequences of code. What is the processor, the USB port, and so forth. So these numbers right here correspond with these numbers. So for instance, number 1, if I push it, it says push buttons A and B. So when you start to run code on the microbit, you can push A or B and it activates something right here. Now number 8 is your LED grid output. So if you push a button, something comes out or off of the screen. That's your output right there. And then here's the back. You can click on those as well. It's going to tell you the compass. It's going to tell you what the different parts are. You can draw a quick sketch if you'd like to in your notes, or maybe put down some of the key components for the microbit. Conclusion questions right here. This is where you're going to answer the conclusion questions. Typically it'd be in a PowerSchool Learning Unified, something like that. So if you have questions, just refer back to the directions right here. All right, thanks a lot.